Hey, everybody. We
Hey,
are
everybody.
live. How's it going, Josh?
It's going good today. How are you doing today, Jacob?
Eh, it's a day.
It's a
It's
day. So what
it's
are you
a
working on
day.
today?
I am working on Nurglings because I found that every single list I'm doing is doing 4 Nurglings. So I need to add more in. So I need one more pack. I need one more 3-pack because I've got three packs of Nurglings already. I just need to do another one. So, and I'm doing all custom Nurglings because my 3-packs are already custom. So, building them up. What are you working on?
I'm working on my squats again through the tournament. I've learned, and it looks like you figured out, man, you got to have them scoring units. So
Yep.
I'm building a custom unit of the 35 point Imperial Agents cop dudes.
Exaction squads.
They all sound the same. Like Exaction Squad.
I mean, don't make them exactly exaction squad because I imagine exaction squads are going to get taken out behind the woodshed and put down.
Well, one of the things about the conversions I'm doing, because so much of mine is literally ancient fucking metal sculpts, is I don't carve metal. So if they change the rules on me, then these
Yeah.
squat bodies will become other things. I'll pull arms off and switch weapons around.
Yep.
It's really hard for me to, even for a conversion, to destroy the originals because they're just literally irreplaceable. I mean, good God, at eBay prices, let's buy a car, you know.
Yeah.
And
Indeed. So I am over here. I've got my Nurgling set out. And while Josh was going around, Josh, while he was going through stuff, found some more Nurglings. I found some that are already on a base. I clipped one off. So I'm thinking these guys are gonna get the sword out of the Great Unclean One kit, the Bio Blade. It's gonna go up in their background there. And then I'll probably put another guy. I'm gonna put some rocks on here. And then that one's pretty damn close to done. It'll be cool. Um, and then I've got a couple Nurglings that are unique to the kits. The Space Marine Heroes Death Guard. I got a couple Nurglings from that, so those guys are going to go on a base for sure, along with some other stuff. I'm not sure. I think this guy was from the Death Guard leader that with the flamer, not the Foul Blight spawn, but the other ones, the new one, the Death Guard Terminator guy. So he is gonna go on there just like that, and he's gonna be the little tank guy. So that will be the centerpiece for one of them. And then I've got the guy that hangs out on the Poxbringer. I've got this stick here that was, I think, more of the Great Unclean One kit. So he's going to stand right up there. And in fact, I'm going to get some glue on him right now to get it hardening. So, but yeah, he's going to hang out right there on top, and he'll be the centerpiece of that Nurgling base. So, nope, we haven't talked about the weekend or anything yet. Chase, we just
we will get to
started.
it.
We will get into it as we continue. So Josh, we both went to me, you and Marty went up to uh, oh well, this is great. Lee, can you hand me those pliers?
Yeah, we went up to the tournament, chased the tournament up in Olympia this weekend.
No, pliers. Yeah, we went up to Chase's tournament, that Rise of Kings. And how'd you do, Josh?
Well, I ended up going 2-3. So I mean, by the numbers, I didn't do too good. But perfectly honest, I had a lot of fun. Uh the games I lost were all nail biters. I mean, so close. And the games that I won, every single one of them were so close. So I mean, regardless of my schedule, my end results, it was worth going. I'd do it again. I had a lot of fun. Uh, I learned some valuable lessons about what I want to do with my army and how 10th is working out.
I just learned some valuable lessons about letting people use your glue, because then they frickin' put the cap back on and cinch it down. And this bad boy is not coming off.
Oh, are we making any direct
You want me to
accusations?
go soak it, or go like run hot water? And
I don't think hot water is going to get this off. I can see where.
I've got some goof off, dude. I can.
Yeah, goof off this.
Let me do that while you're on.
Yeah. Slow up. Right now. Josh, are you using super glue right now?
Yeah, do you need some?
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Yeah. I will put a thing over this so it doesn't dry.
Yes, there should be a glue in there. If not, let me know.
Actually, this stuff's probably better for what I'm doing here anyway. But yeah. So anyway, continue, Josh.
Well, I mean, it was said it was a nice tournament, right? It was really, I can't speak for anyone else, but like I said, I dealt with no a-holes. It was, pleasant. I regret taking my Rough Riders out of my list before I went, but hey, life is regrets.
I kind of thought that was going to be the case.
Yeah, I mean, them scoring units are just too valuable. People get too stuck on how killy a unit is, but killing stuff doesn't win you games in 10th, man.
The Chaos Knights list did really well for me. I only went 3-2, but I am fine with my 2 losses, one of which was to the guy that won the tournament with Orcs, and that came down to my Meltas decided they didn't want to play. I literally had everything exactly where I wanted it. Traded Gaz for a single carnivore, the melee knights. So I will make that trade all
That's
day.
a good deal. Yeah, I'll take that trade too.
And then I had his only other threats to me, really. I mean, he had, by the way, Grot tanks are cute. I don't hate them.
Are they cool?
They're cool. They got a little 10-inch move thing anytime you get within X range, which was really cute. But
That's cool. I was looking at Grot tanks.
I had 5 Brigands into Mozrog. Now, Mozrog's tough. He has a 4-up invul and a 4-up feel no pain. So I'm like, I'm going to overdo this just to make sure he goes bye-bye. I have him in the middle of the board, right where I want him, sacrificed my other Brigand to make sure that Mozrog took the bait and jumped in on him. And he did. And I had him exactly where I wanted him. And 5 Brigands spent the CP to have them all exploding 6s into Mozrog. I got, and 4 of them were in Melta 4 range. Hitting on 2s, wounding on 3s. 10 shots. And then I had another one outside. Not to mention all their 1 guns, but they're not going to do much. They're hitting on 2s, wounding on 5s. So they're not going to do as much. But they just decided, nope. I got 3 wounds through. Rolled 1s on the Meltas. Yep. And one of them was the one that was outside of Melta 4 range. I did 6 wounds to Mozrog.
Ugh. Yeah, them kind of things just hurt, don't
Hitting
they?
on 2s, wounding on 3s. Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous. So I do not, and we talked about it. I don't think there was much more. I don't think there was much different I could do. That's exactly. I had everything right where I wanted it, and sometimes dice just do that. And then my only other loss was which happened again to me. I need to make sure that I'm the one doing. I need to keep track of the score as well. More importantly, because I need to keep track of what round it is. Because I have so many rounds with my Chaos Knights that I just go, cool, your turn. I don't do anything. And because they're a scory army and just wait for somebody to come out. Well, he thought we still had a turn left. Told me what round it was. And I believed him. And turns out that was the final round. Yeah, which was silly. And I lost 93-90. So all I would have had to do was just run my knights away, and it would have been no problem. So, anyway.
So much fucking glue out in there.
Was there? Yeah. All right. So I got my glue back. My glue. All right. But yeah, so I don't care about losing either of those games. Like, that's fine. Lost to the guy that won the tournament. Well, I guess technically he came in second. There was 2 undefeateds, which we can talk about how we deal with that going forward as a community. A lot of guys want opponent win percentage. I personally don't like opponent win percentage simply because you lose the agency. Battle points, at least you have your own agency and all that. It does feel bad, though, to go to the top tables and whatnot, and then, oh, yeah, you finish ninth because you lost the top table.
Well, among top players, opponents' win percentages, man, that just eliminates those flukes that somehow manage to slip through. Oh, I mean, mind you, most of the time they're caught the end games, but you know.
Yeah, it's
You
just
had a couple easy matchups early, and suddenly you're way out ahead. And
I know. I don't like taking player agency away from the players.
yeah, I kind of agree with you. It should be your destiny, not somebody else's. I won because someone else fucked up. No, it's not.
Well, not only that, but I lost without anything I could do.
Yeah, it was beyond your control.
Completely beyond your control. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd almost be tempted to just say call it co-winners than a. And I realize that probably messed up VC points, and the guys are really.
But it's not just
points.
that; it's all the way down through the tournament. You know, it's like the top 10, top 15. It's like
co-winners, right? Dudes will flip out about that.
We're all winners here. No, but it just
no.
It just doesn't sit right to me in a competitive game to go.
Jason, what's your solution to this?
I have an idea. It wasn't greatly well received. It wasn't horribly well received.
Well, let's hear
either.
this.
So, what I'm thinking is for 5-round tournaments, sub 60 people. Sub 64.
Saying this would apply to any tournament where 64 or less. That's a GT. So
Or
down to 16 or whatever.
Yeah, all the way up to 64. Although if you're 32, you don't need to do this because
32 or lower, you don't need to.
32 or lower, you're gonna already have a.
So
natural
32
win.
to 64. So medium to large. Yeah. Okay.
Your normal, decent sized GTS. I suggest because people don't want to play 6 rounds. That's just people are done with that. They, at a bigger event like Slanashmas, 100 people, sure, do 6 rounds. And you're still gonna have some undefeateds.
You're saying 6 official, like advertised rounds
where everybody showing up plays 6 rounds. Sure, I can see that. Especially in the Northwest, there's only a couple of those each year. Now that Games Workshop keeps coming here because they got good turnout, we have one of those. Then Bob over in Spokane is going to have 2 of those, it looks like, if he keeps doing it at the fairgrounds. And then essentially Slanashmas. I don't know what's going to happen in Portland because it doesn't look like Tanner's going to be running him, or not Tanner, Colton's going to be running him anymore. So don't know what's going to happen there. But he had gotten 100 man. But outside of that, in the Pacific Northwest, that's pretty much your 100 mans. So they can be 6 rounds, but pretty much everything else is going to land in that. Any good tournament's going to land in that 30 to 64 people range.
Yeah, 99% of the time you'll be correct there.
Yep. And so, anyway, there's what I'm doing with that. Lee, if you want to jump over to this. This is that Nurgling base that was already started.
Yeah, let me switch to you.
Yeah. So, here he is. We'll go all the way up here. So, yeah, and then I'll put a Nurgling on there. That's the sword from the...
Nice.
That's the sword from the Great Unclean One. So, my thinking is thus. We take the... Actually, he's going to be perfect for right there. Yeah. We take the after day 1, you should be sitting at 8 undefeateds. So then, and I also heard another good solution to today that I'm actually curious what everybody thinks of. We take the top 8 and we say, you guys at 7 a.m. have a shadow round. The only people it affects are the TOs and those 8 players. And only the 3-0 players. So.
If you're serious, like I want to win the tournament, you go to your shadow round. I'm okay with that.
Right. It's 7 a.m.
Yeah, actually.
Right.
The ultra competitive players should have no problem with that. Right.
A lot of their concerns is that it's pretty goddamn early.
I mean, fucking.
Well, the other option, I guess, is staying late the night before.
So, yes.
So neither choice is good.
But I'm not going to ask any person to play 4 rounds of 40K in a day. I think that just leads to bad everything.
What if you just get dueling pistols?
But I think a 7 a.m. kind of fixes it. I also heard another idea today, which is that you just finish the tournament up. And then the top 2 players can just go ahead and play while you're tearing down the tournament, while all that's going on. You do the awards, the prizes, all that. You know one of those 2 people is taking first place. You know one of those 2 people, like, if, like, one of them's really well painted, like, you might have to wait on the best overall. But...
yeah, I would vote against that idea. That's much worse than the other idea. Just because of all the different things it affects. You want to do the awards at once at the end while everybody's there.
Really?
I mean,
does
yeah.
it? You still do all the awards except for best jump.
So you tear down everything around these 2 guys playing. Everyone leaves.
Yep.
During that time, and then you give them an award in an empty room while you're shoving them out the door.
And also, what would be cool is if people want to stay and watch, then people could stay and watch.
Well, sure, but I
final
think
game.
I think it's a lot clunkier.
It is quite a bit clunky.
Yeah, that's very.
But that's the other option I heard.
Yeah, that's a bad one. So I don't know who you heard that from, but
yeah, actually, a couple guys.
I vote bad.
I don't hate it though.
I'm thinking.
As an event or person that organizes events and things, I hate it for sure.
Yeah, because by that time the event
They're
is
vying
over.
for the top spot, and
Right, but
yeah, okay.
it only matters to them, essentially. Everybody else has gotten what they came to the tournament to get out of.
I think the shadow round is better.
So do I.
I like the 7 a.m. shadow round because honestly, I mean,
because you're done early that day anyway. I mean, yes.
No, you're not. You're
is,
done at 8:30. The second day.
On the second day.
Yeah.
You're done early that day anyway. So the idea is that you start earlier, yes. It's not just a fuck off weekend. I mean, it's supposed to be fun, but you're going to a tournament. And if you're one of those people in the undefeated top 8, you're going there to win.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're not just accidentally Jar Jar Binksing your way through it and just like
you could be. You could.
well, then miss the shadow round and you're fucked.
Right.
Like whatever, man.
Yeah.
Just I think the most important thing is establish it and just keep doing it.
Yeah.
I hate the whole idea of
I might try it for. I'm gonna put it out.
You should try it.
I'm gonna put it out and then see how much everybody hates it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it out. I'm gonna put it out in a poll. I think.
Wouldn't that work? Wouldn't that work for a thing like Slaneshmas too?
Yeah, but Slaneshmas is more of a people hang out and party type tournament.
Wouldn't want to.
yeah, I was already saying because that the I like to drink
Wouldn't want to interrupt
40K crowd guy.
The white.
It's gonna
claw.
hate the whole.
Yeah.
You mean I gotta show up even earlier?
Yeah.
'Cause I was already intending to have a hangover and.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, can't you drink whenever? Like
Yeah, but you can't drink with your buddies.
telling me you
whenever.
didn't drink the day before?
Actually, I hate
if
to
you're
be
that
like
much
this,
of a
but for a lot
fucking
of
off.
us, you can't just drink whenever. Like, you got
Yeah.
kids and a family.
Yeah,
shit like that.
whatever.
You do,
Yeah.
but then you end up
Come
living
on.
under a bridge.
You're telling me you don't? Yeah.
It's
I mean,
kinda-
I do,
If
but
you
I'm
can't
not.
get through a 40K without drinking, you're not just
It's
drinking.
kind of like Vegas.
40K.
If for some reason I made the
Yeah,
the
but
shadow.
Some of those guys are just.
If
they're
for some
party guys.
reason I made the top 16 shadow round at Vegas, I'm just telling them I'm not doing it. Like
I just think it's kind of weird to take that. That should be their responsibility to manage, like when to drinking and all that stuff. I think you should do what's best for the tournament first.
yeah,
For
Yeah.
the standings and all
I
that
think
stuff.
I
And
am.
then, and if people want to show up shit faced or not, then they're
It's
gonna
on them.
they're gonna lose. They're gonna miss out.
But
They're
here's
gonna do
the
whatever.
here's the
Like,
other thing though.
they're not there to win anyway.
It's also I kind of like the who gives a fuck who won the tournament idea of having multiple undefeateds. I kind of fucking like it.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Because it's
like,
sending
is
the
it
right
so
message.
terrible
No, it's
to
not so
have
terrible.
multiple undefeateds. I
No,
mean,
I know a lot of guys hate it, but it also kind of sends the right message.
I think a few people.
This
I think
isn't
the
the-
ultra competitive people hate it, right?
this isn't. Yeah, I mean, we're not dealing with.
Yeah.
We're not dealing with.
Yeah, but you can't do everything with the ultra competitive guys.
Right.
Exactly. That's what
Right.
I'm saying. So
The in my
the
opinion,
whole issue might be moot in the first place.
in my
because-
opinion, tournaments should be really designed for the middle of the tables.
Well, yes, because they're your bread and butter.
They're your bread and butter. Those are the guys that are coming. That are
I hate to
just
say
there
it, but
to
it's the
have
guys
fun and
like
play.
me.
Yeah.
So you think you're kind of good, but let's be honest,
Yeah.
have
Those
good
should,
days and bad.
yeah.
Well, yeah, no, that's a better philosophy.
Yeah.
And everyone always has a good time
Right.
at your tournaments.
Right.
And you've got the cheaters mostly gone and they're
Yep.
totally gone. You've got assholes gone in general. You know, some people have their moments, but it's more of like a family atmosphere. And
And I hate
Uncle
to be
so
like
and so
this.
gets cranky every once in a while, but that's no big deal. 'Cause
Uncle
we love him
Kebby gets
anyway.
cranky.
Actually, we love him anyway, don't we, folks?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's my 2 cents. I'll let you guys get back to your.
Yeah. So I'm kind of considering what to do there for that.
I wonder if guys, because you know how people are with their math, if they'll think there being multiple undefeateds gives the average dude a better chance of getting up there. I mean, it won't, but
It actually does.
That's also. Also, you're talking if you're talking about catering to the middle of the pack. That's
I
your,
know.
that's a.
It also
It's
does.
an
giving
enticement
them
for them
even
too.
if it's just an
They
illusion.
could be one of those one day. Their dice could roll super hot. They could get second. They could get tied. You know, like
Well,
it's-
and so here's kind of what brought
Yeah.
this whole thing up was at the tournament this weekend, the orc player had by far the strongest strength of schedule.
who was this, by the way?
Out of towner.
Oh, not
he's-
Lucas.
No, Lucas wasn't there. Good player, good guy. Really enjoyed the game. He had by far a much rougher schedule. But Pina had more points, and so it was going by battle points. Which is kind of like, oh, that kind of sucks, you know.
yeah, like one guy gets a lucky march through, gets a lucky matchup or two, and suddenly you have such an advantage.
Right, but that works exactly the opposite way on.
I do like using the
Opponent's
strength of schedule as the tiebreaker because the guy who had the hardest road, you know,
I think we probably do that for. I think we do it for placings. Oh Jesus Christ! You want to ban that, Lee?
what? Oh, do I even want to know?
Yeah, that's a Twitch too. Go ahead and
the second one.
yeah,
That's the second one in the same amount of weeks.
yeah, that's people trying to sell views on Twitch.
Yeah,
Oh dear God.
Dude,
sounds totally legit.
it's actually a thing, man. Selling views, like buying views on Twitch or YouTube would actually be quite beneficial.
Well, you want to be a big phone.
Well, who cares about
Getting paid big ponies with
who cares about being a big phony if you get monetized? I mean, well, would you like to get a paycheck for this? Like, I mean, that's kind of where you're.
Like to get a paycheck. Period.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to, you know, be like, no, paying for views is wrong. But in the competitive world where people are, you know, competing over views,
Well, the idea is that you're not really competing if you have your own niche, and you have your thing you do that people like.
you're still competing.
It's a kind of a moral gray area because who are you really hurting? I mean, you're just creating a false sense of herd mentality.
You're
I
hurting
guess.
yourself, Josh.
Well, no, you're
You
hurting
kinda
the other
are.
content creators that aren't doing it.
Well, because people will look at stuff that
Well, it doesn't
that other
translate
people are looking
necessarily
at.
one to one as because you still need engagement and all that.
You do.
Work on Twitch. But for YouTube, it's probably not. It wouldn't work.
So like Extra Life, they're ones that people really have a problem with because they embed their stream on their website, and they'll sell spots on website too. Oh, hey, yeah, it's a hobby stream. That's cool. Thank you, Rune. That's actually awesome. That means we hit the algorithm. So
What?
we hit that guy's algorithm.
All right.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Making the
And
computer happy.
yeah, this is a tabletop gaming hobby stream.
Yep.
Two gentlemen you're looking at are Josh and Byrd,
Jason, and we're
and they're
plugging away modeling.
what they're doing is they're making models for their 40K lists
Yep.
right now and talking about the game. And they were just recounting a tale, which we can get back to, of this weekend's
This
tournament.
weekend's tournament, yeah.
They just came back from in Olympia,
Yep.
Washington.
Yeah.
Washington.
So it comes down to I don't know how we want to start looking at. I think probably opponents' win percentage for standings if we don't want to do something drastic.
I kind of like that too because it does that. The guy who had the tooth and nail just got shit effed the entire tournament because he's got one good player after another. If he fought his way through and there's a tie, he still wins because he had the harder road.
Yep.
You know, and that does seem kind of, I don't know, appropriate to me.
Yeah. It does seem appropriate. Does seem appropriate, but at the same time, the other guy doesn't have any say in, at least with battle points, you control your own destiny. You should have scored more fucking battle points. Kind of one of those things. And I don't think there's a right answer.
You're probably correct on that one because what works for one guy in one circumstance is not going to work for another guy in another circumstance, and it just keeps it going and going and going.
Yeah.
I have banned them.
Good job.
Yeah, we just got solicited. That's happened now it's happened an equal amount on Twitch and Kick.
Yeah.
Which is not good.
I'm actually surprised they're so bold on Twitch because that usually gets accounts banned. Because Twitch can't be seen to have inauthentic users and whatnot, because it's where a lot of that advertising dollars comes from.
Oh, so this got autoplay.
Yeah, this got autoplayed for him, which is awesome.
Oh, that's cool. Is he into 40K?
We're starting to see that more and more and more.
Okay.
He might.
But no thing. I'm not looking at a screen, so.
Yeah. They could be into all different guises. That Dungeons and Dragons will get you popped on this, and.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm down with somebody tell me about your crazy. We like other people's crazies.
Yep.
Hola, Corby.
Kebby. Come here. Come here. Got to build some more Nurglings, Cabby. Oh, hey, stop that. Yeah, I think I want that right about there. Yep, that looks good. Now I got to add some more little buddies on here. Definitely a you little buddy here. Yeah, you'd be a good little buddy right there, I think. Or kind of like that frolicky Nurgling. If frolicky can be over here. Yep. I think I ended up getting out way too much stuff for these Nurglings, but that's okay.
So, question, Jason.
Yes.
You already mentioned the Clay's Assassin you think should already be nerfed or added in points or something done with it.
Yes.
What about the other parts of the Imperial Agents book? Does that give the Imperium an unfair advantage?
Well,
more so than Chaos and with their ability to take demons.
Yes and no. Being able to every Imperium army take Vect for 115 points. Fuck off. That it just shouldn't exist. The being able to take the Exciser squads or whatever for 35 points, no, unacceptable. Especially, and it's not so much like the guard already has cheap options, stuff like that. The main problem is stuff like knights,
Custodes,
stuff that their stuff is supposed to be expensive.
Space Marines to a point, but Knights and Custodes are the ones
Like
that
Kevin
really
said,
get a Benny out of it.
Any agents being auto take is dubious, and it's bad for the game. Now, not as many people are on the Demons hype train. This will be one of those things that more and more people start to get on it as we go along.
Well, like Hounds and Nurglings are really useful, especially if you're going big demons.
I don't think Hounds.
What other armies in
I don't
Chaos
think
could
Hounds
use
are
them?
that useful, but
Well, you're starting to see them out there, though.
yeah, you are.
They're at the right point cost, and they're fast movers. I think that's a potential.
I'm talking specifically Blues and Nurglings.
Well, Blues and Nurglings are fucking nasty. I blazed a unit of Blues with every bit of artillery I had this thing, and they ended up with, they all become Browns.
Yeah.
That's all I accomplished.
Yeah. Yeah, Vect is one of the most powerful tactical deck playing pieces that exist. Yeah,
Well, yeah, double vecting is beautiful.
Yeah.
Hitting guys for Overwatch and rerolls. If anything else,
Yeah.
if it's a night player, every army has a stratagem that I'm like, that's my baby, and I'm waiting for it.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, the automatically adding Vect and lone operative and stealth and the ability to pull them up off the board every turn. And the Vect, they don't even have to be on the board to Vect. It's like, this is just getting ridiculously out of hand. So I definitely think it's more of a problem than the Chaos ones. Because the Chaos ones have, good pieces that do a lot of good things. And are cheap for their points, but they're not on that same level of broken. And don't get me wrong, I think every Chaos army that can should be bringing Blues and Nurglings. As long as it doesn't hit you too much on your firepower.
Yeah, I mean, of course I would. I agree that you should be taking that stuff because it's just too good. But
So anyway, do you think you should change anything in your list going forward, Josh?
oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I think I'm overtly concerned with commands. I need to back off a little bit on that. Like, how do I function without commands? I'm spending too many points to give commands out, but that means I don't have enough models to give commands to, or they become irrelevant because I don't have good stuff to give them to. I think I'm better off, and then to get that, I lost all my mobility. I'm really liking Rough Riders more and more as I play them, and realizing that they're not, they're chess pieces, man. They're pawns. They die. I don't care. Low points, high mobility. That's
What's
cool.
funny is this weekend, whenever I was talking to people about guard, I'm like, yeah, take the bikes. And
They all disagree.
And they're like, what the fuck are bikes? And then I had to remember, oh yeah, they're supposed to be horses. But in Josh's squat list, they're bikes.
Well, can you do a close up?
Yeah.
All you have to do is just hold it up and put your hand behind it.
See, I'm taking my Rough Riders because I got a bunch.
You got to
of
hold
squat
your hand
bikes.
behind it, Josh, to yeah.
So it can focus.
So it auto focuses.
Too close.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Stop.
Yeah.
Right
Now
there?
now you can turn it sideways or yeah.
Yeah, so I'm doing the old squat bikes, right? These are all, and converting them
Those
into
are
Rough
so
Riders,
cool.
making them clever, right?
Yep.
What you do is I had almost 20 squat bikes where we're working on that. Between that and 3D printing, I have to 3D print some. That's just gonna happen. Keeping as original as I can, but
Was that Colby?
Yeah.
You have that?
Yeah. Colby's like, what fucking bike? I'm just like, bikes. And I'm like,
Yeah,
oh
bikes.
shit.
Fucking.
No, well, they're like
I'm like-
cavalry, right?
I'm like, yeah. What are you talking about, Colby?
That's
You
awesome,
you
though.
just bring fucking bikes. It's fucking great.
Then with the excisors. So these are
Exaction
like
squad.
extraction squads. So there's like one of them working on.
Yeah.
You know,
Flip it around.
well, it's right now. He's all different colors and
Hold it right side up.
like this.
Well, imagine that the bottom of the screen is closest to you. So if you were to hold a mini sideways, you'd want the base facing you. See what I'm saying? Facing you.
Yeah, we'll put that beam
Facing
on there
base
too.
towards you now. Turn it sideways on its face or back or whatever.
The base comes to me.
There you go.
That's how I show him.
That's how you show it.
Okay, you guys have to forgive me. I'm
That guy. No. No, this is new.
Well, Josh
setup.
doesn't have a
So
screen.
and Josh is he's learning though.
I'm not like a
Everything's
streamer,
cool.
dude. I don't watch YouTube or
Yeah, no,
Twitch or
now you know going forward.
yeah.
I'm
So
sorry.
we're learning.
The reason we have it that way is so that someone looking at it, you're not reaching, your hands are reaching in from the same direction. They're looking at their screen. You see what I
You
mean?
know, it's like
So
my stubber
yeah.
guy.
There you go. Perfect.
You know,
He's already better than you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's my stubber guy. You know, and it's so my extraction.
Oh, Kebby, are you? I could finish mine up any point now. I'm level 12 and my party's pretty freaking over the top.
What in Baldur's Gate?
Yeah, BG3.
God, that's a good game.
I think one of the things I dislike, which we're going to talk about on Thursday, I am pretty sure Activision and EA and a whole bunch of people started throwing out some money or access or whatever to a bunch of journalists, because there's a whole bunch of articles today and yesterday about how Baldur's Gate isn't really that good. And it's like, oh, clearly you're bought off. I will never, ever, ever believe a thing you make.
You've just lost credibility.
You're allowed to not like
You're allowed
it.
to not
but-
like it. You're allowed for it. It might not be your favorite game
Correct.
because it's certainly not mine.
Right.
But I'm not going to say it's not a well-made game.
Right.
I'm not going to. I understand the work that went into it.
You mean you're not going to shill for EA and Activision?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to shill for anybody,
Well, they're just all butthurt
including
that those
Baldur's
guys are
Gate.
not.
But what I'm saying is that you're not being honest
Right.
if you're saying the game is that less effort was put into it than clearly was or whatever.
Right.
And that's the only way that you should be legitimately criticizing it is if it was, on its elements that humans have control over, the story, the graphics,
Correct.
the gameplay, all those things, right?
The effort put.
That's where I have complaints is in the gameplay.
Yeah.
Not my favorite, but I don't like those games. They're not my favorite games.
I will admit, I
You can
don't
sit
like
me
the
down.
storyline.
Yeah, sit me down in front of. Pick any old boomer shooter and sit me down in front of that. I'm fucking happy as a clam. But I'm not the target audience for that game. So
Lee's,
I'm not gonna say it sucks.
Lee's the target audience. Hyenas is Lee's target audience.
Oh no,
Oh,
no! I didn't say looter shooter.
oof.
I said boomer shooter. Which is Fuck that
Yeah,
shit.
Colby, I think I might wrap this one up just so I can finish it off, see the storyline. Like, I'm already 12. I haven't dealt with Gortash or Orin yet. And so, yeah, I need to go deal with those two things. And then I think I still have a lot of game left to play because I've been trying to do a lot more completionist. Yeah, this is the wildest game journalism event. We're going to cover it a bunch on Thursday.
There's so much you can do in the game. Places you can keep. Oh, you can go over here. Oh, what's this? Love that.
Yeah. And I mean, Larian did say they'd rather, instead, you'll get more out of the game if you just play it through and then just start another one and go a different direction with everything. So anyway, here's the two Nurglings so far. We've got Happy Friend here.
Ooh, should I put a sidecar?
Yep. We got, where you at?
Oh,
We got Happy Friend here where he's got a bunch of sticks, and then Nurglings. And then we have the sword with a bunch of Nurglings. I think, yeah, it's way longer than just about any single player game. Well, and the other thing is, it's not a big open world thrown in there for just, hey, we have this much space, Todd Howard. 18 times the size. Yeah, nothing like that for like a bunch of dead area with nothing going on in that area. Like each area is specifically designed to do like X, Y, and Z. So yeah, but I think there's almost too much content in the game for level 12. I think it would have been served to go up a couple more levels. I understand, and they explained why they didn't. They didn't want to deal with shit like Wish Spell and like, I mean, how do you do a bunch of this stuff? I mean, Divine Intervention's already in there. I haven't hit the button yet. I probably need to, because you're only able to use it once per playthrough for Cleric Divine Intervention, and so I kind of want to see what it does.
That's what spam saves are for.
I know. I keep forgetting to.
I tell that people in games all the time. Well, what does this do? I was like, do you even ever consider saving and doing it, see what it does? Because I do that in like all kinds of. I don't know what this button does. We're gonna save, then we're hitting that button, see what happens. You know.
Josh does that in games, Lee, not in real life.
Well, in real life, I don't have a save button.
You still do the same thing in real life, Josh.
Yeah, I just don't have a save button. Yeah, every once in a while things go wrong. It's all right. I bounce. It's fine.
Really? What did it do, Kevy? All right, time to get this stuff out. There we go. I probably need to make that back towards the middle more. Yeah, that horn should go just like that, I think. Yeah, this is fun. I've been wanting to make some more Nurgling bases anyway. Massive damage AoE, one's a massive heal AoE, one gives you a +3 mace. Oh, does it let you? One gives you like 80 supply packs. Is the +3 mace permanent?
Probably not.
Yeah,
It's the duration of it.
I was gonna say I'd probably keep the permanent +3 mace.
I mean, toward the end game they might, but the spell probably wouldn't be there.
You don't get it till end. Oh, the mace is permanent. Okay.
When do you get that spell?
Oh, I think it's a level 6 spell.
So shit, just do it right away. Take them in.
Or no, it's not even it's not a spell. It's actually a class action.
Do it as soon as you can and take the mace.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just grab that +3 mace. Because Frederick Durstenson, because I have the other reason I'm probably wrecking shit. No. You had all +3 weapons, Kevy? Look at you. Look at you, you fucking animal. What was I gonna say? I also did a custom party completely, except for I left one slot that just turned into a Starion, as a freaking Gloomstalker assassin. Yeah, so went 4 in thief or 4 in rogue, got assassin, and then the 4th for that feat, and then 8 in ranger. And so he's wearing heavy armor that doesn't affect his stealth. And then, yeah. And then it's just raking. It's pretty ridiculous, like, to even, like, consider. He's, like, got an AC of 23 and gets, like, a billion attacks on turn 1 and auto crits and all kinds of shit. It's broken. And then I've got it. I think just a straight fighter is just amazing because of all the feats.
Yes.
Because you can get Savage Attacker, you can get Sentinel, you can get Polearm Master, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, you came into my zone? Okay, that's just a dead enemy.
I hate to say it, but a lot of abilities are really cool and everything, but what's the fucking point? They're not super efficient. And being a 40k player, you go down to efficiency. And fighters are fucking efficient.
Yeah.
Just deal damage, take damage.
Um,
Well, and the way the resting works, they're just short rest.
Yeah, that's the thing about going like Battle Master Fighter and stuff.
Yeah.
Almost everything is short or long rest, meaning you can do it on a short rest.
Yeah.
There's only Second Wind is long rest, I
Nope,
believe.
I think second
Second
Wind's
short
short
rest.
rest as well.
Now there's one major one that's long rest.
It's not Action Surge because Action
No,
Surge
it's
is short
it's
rest.
either Action Surge or Second Wind. Pretty sure. It depends on which way you went, but maybe it's the superiority dice. It might be that.
No. Well, maybe you don't get all of them back. Maybe you only get a portion.
Well,
of them
in
back.
real 5e, you don't get any of them back. You just get them on the rest, or not. You don't get some back and then more on the rest.
Huh.
It's not like hit dice. So I'm pretty sure that one of those things is the long rest only, but most things you get are on short rest,
Yeah.
Yeah, they can just keep going.
especially
and,
with your feats and stuff. Yeah.
and then also with their armor class and hit points, they're less stressful to your healers.
Yep. Hey,
You know
what's
what I
up,
mean?
Skylar? Yeah.
Anyway, it might be different in the game. But yeah, I think the less goofy the class, the better, probably.
Yeah. Although the Sorlock, 4 in Warlock, and then the rest in Sorcerer. Oof. Because when you're throwing out three Eldritch Blasts, it's like I'm not even running out of spells before long rest. My Cleric's running out of spells before my Sorlock is. And then just any encounter, it's like, cool, Fireball, Quicken Spell, Fireball. Barb Rogue. I thought about doing a Barb Monk. Seemed kind of fun. Like, Barb Monk Fighter sounds kind of fun.
I know I had a lot of fun with a fighter thief two-handed person. Because once you get that bonus action,
Yeah.
and you got that offhand weapon, and ding, 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 you know, you can do a lot of cool stuff with that.
I was thinking two-handed with sneak attack. Because you just have to have an advantage to sneak attack. You don't actually have to be sneaking.
Well, you get that glove that anytime there's two people attacking you, you always have advantage.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you could just sneak attack it.
I was doing it with the two-handed because the two-handed you can sneak attack too, but then you also attack with the other, you know.
Yeah. Like, I think it's really cool they allowed us to do, because it's a single-player game, so it doesn't matter. So, allowing us to multi-class, but it really breaks the fucking game. Yeah, that. The only thing you're missing out there is the feats every 4 levels.
You can't triple class, right?
Oh no, you could 12 class. There is
First level in every.
yeah. There's actually an
mean-
achievement for doing it too.
You're not getting anywhere after a point, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can end game with that, can you? Like,
I mean, you could
it
probably.
would be difficult.
Yeah, I mean, you're warlocking probably.
I mean, it doesn't seem. It seems like you wouldn't be very good at anything.
No, you wouldn't be.
Like I said, you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to be a
I
fit,
think
you
you
know.
probably start your first class as Bard, actually. Because they get the most passives. They get the most passives at the start. All right, so how to finish up this happy guy? He needs to be on a
Yes, it does
platform
have to be
higher.
finesse. Did you guys finish? Did you guys wrap up your weekend talk?
Pretty
No, well,
much.
sure, we'll go back to it at some point.
Pretty much. Marty ended up undefeated.
I know, fucking
So-
Marty.
Yeah. There was some.
Marty's a good player, though. He really is.
Oh yeah, he's a pretty good player. Yeah. There were some issues with people misplays, but new edition that shit's gonna happen. And everybody who misplayed really crucial stuff throughout like 3 rounds. There's a couple people realized it and took losses and handled it exactly how you're supposed to.
Some gentlemen
So.
took the honorable way without having to be told to do it the honorable
Yep.
way. That's always nice.
Yep, it is. It's very nice. So,
You don't have to explain to people how to be classy. They already got it figured.
yep.
Because we know who we're talking about, and he's classy. I'm sorry,
Yep.
but he is.
It's the way it's supposed to happen. You're supposed to mess something up. You're supposed to go, hey, I messed something up. I mean, there's always the option to not mess it up in the first place, but it's all in how you handle it after you know you messed up. Which is all you can ask, because very rarely are there perfect games of 40K played, because the rules are overly complex.
Well, I hate to be it, but that's sort of what a lot of people like about it. But
Skylar wants to ask a question.
What's up, Skylar?
You guys use Milliput
yeah.
ever for bases?
Yes. Yeah, I used to sell it, actually.
Milliput,
You know, I just
I
never.
got Army
Or green stuff.
right next to me.
You know, green
Yeah.
stuff is the same thing, basically.
Yeah.
After I go through and prime these, I have to come through and green stuff a few seams.
Yeah.
But I won't be able to really see what needs to be done until I prime it.
Lee is actually currently using green stuff to fix some to fix the trophies. Yep. But misprint, I poop from there.
The trophies for the next tournament are a classic 40K.
Classic
Classic 40K weapon.
Yeah.
And we're going back to that. We've been doing bases and wood bases and traditional trophies for a while. And we're gonna go back to making a big giant old weapons.
So for Harbor
And
Heresy,
giving them to
it's
people
sort
for-
of a tradition. To
Yeah.
do
Yeah, 'cause we've
weapons.
done Thunder
So for Heresy,
Hammers
we're
and
doing-
we've
yeah,
done
right.
Yeah.
So last one
Chain
what's the
axes.
last one?
Chain axes.
Thunderhammer?
No, it was chain axes
It was chain axes.
for Harbor Heresy.
That's right, chain axes. And then
Yep.
so this one we're doing another classic weapon.
We're doing chain swords, but
And
smaller. So like an Astra
of the-
Militarum size.
Yeah.
like Cato Sicarius' chainsaw.
Something closer to
Yeah, like a punk bitch chainsword, like Cato Sicarius.
God, I gotta clean up my area. So some of the teeth, because we're 3D printing, some of the teeth messed up on the sword, on the chain sword. So I'm cleaning them off, taking off all the messed up part, and there's like the first sword had 2 teeth that are fucked
I've
up.
done that before.
So
the original
I'm
one.
making
Well, I'm trying to fix it for
and
the
then we're
next ones.
reorienting the print and
Yeah.
stuff and trying to figure it out because it happened to be the teeth that when they were facing down, and when the teeth on the parts we printed where the teeth were facing up, it didn't happen.
Colby knows
So-
of which we speak.
Anyway,
But misprint, I poop from there.
right now you don't. See,
See, Colby
Not
remembers
right now
it.
you don't. Yeah.
Colby remembers it as not right now. You don't. I remember it as not today. You don't.
And-
But I
and
think,
it
but
is
Lee
not right
remembers
now
it
you
the
don't.
same
Yeah,
way. So I
yeah.
think Lee.
Not right now you don't. But you wouldn't want to not poop for the whole day. He's not a monster. He's not. He's just a. He's just.
He's just a
concerned with-
country
He's
outlaw.
just a country outlaw. But just a lovable scamp. Look it up. Just type it in. We're not explaining it to you.
And make sure you're not at work while you do it.
Yeah, don't.
Or your-
We're work appropriate.
Or your wife or kids aren't in the room. Unless your wife's into that, which is cool.
Oh, you're on a bus.
Oh, do it on a bus.
Sorry.
Do it on a bus. Public transpo.
Do it on the bus.
Yeah. Make sure you're asked to never use city transit again.
Oh my God, what do you have to do to get on that list? They let
Probably
some,
openly watch porn.
No, people got away with it.
Got it.
Oh, really?
I've talked to bus drivers.
You get
People get
kicked
away with
off
it.
at the time, but you're not going on a list.
Yeah, they're just like, get off today.
Okay, what if you're watching porn while jerking off?
I mean, they might call the police for that one. I'd hope they should.
That's probably like a month.
Until they forget who you are. Because
Until
the
they
bus
forget who you
drivers
are.
see some pretty weird people.
Think about it. You got to imagine these bus drivers just give a shit, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Like they're like vigilantes basically out there, fighting for truth and justice. And
The bus, Roy.
Truth and justice. Well, he can't because that chick had a whole lot of different porns to film. Because in the 90s, early 2000s, she was in a lot of porns.
Bills to pay, man. I mean, student loans and shit are fucking rugged.
that's what my friend told me.
Oh, and
anyway.
cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't personally know that, but that's what I heard, that she did a lot of porn. She was the creepy one that looked way too young, but actually didn't really look too young.
Oh my God, here's how I'm gluing this.
She looked like she might have been underage if it was like backwoods West Virginia, maybe, where it's a real rough life.
I will be back in just a moment, and I will tell you if I'm successful.
What are you doing?
I'm gluing a 25-year-old metal arm to I made it yesterday 3D print. Cause I just do things my way. And super glue is not wanting to work here. So I'm actually gonna go dip this metal arm in resin epoxy.
Yeah.
And then put it on here to hold it and just walk outside for a minute.
Well, that's fine. I can
See
get.
if I can epoxy it right to in place.
I can go over the list. I'm going to try to play tomorrow on Warhammer Wednesday.
You should actually.
Do you want to use the 5 minutes?
No.
No, I want to see if this works. This is a 35-second epoxy.
So.
What do you mean? What do you mean 35 seconds?
Well, I didn't throw a number out there. But this
Oh, you're talking about resin.
Yeah.
Printer resin. Oh shit. Okay. Oh.
Josh, if you don't want to walk outside, here you go, bud. Right here.
No, he wants to walk outside anyway.
Oh, he wants to smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He's
here's
doing
what
a
I'm going to
two
try to
birds
run
thing.
tomorrow. And it's going to be awful, boys. I'm eliminating the best part of that Death Guard list, which is the 3 brigands. So we are running 1 Death Guard Chaos Lord, 1 Death Guard Chaos Lord and Terminator armor, 1 Tallyman, 1 Typhus, and 1 Mortarion.
You wouldn't do that with me.
1 pack of Plague Marines, 2 6-packs of Death Shroud, 1 with Typhus, 1 with the Death Guard, with the Lord and Terminator armor, 2 Plagueverse Crawlers, 30 Poxwalkers, and 2 packs of Nurglings. So that is going to be bad. So we'll see if I'm able to play around with it, but I highly doubt it. I think it's going to be pretty awful. All right, so I need some more tentacles coming out. Tentacles and boners coming out. Oh, that's a tentacle penis mouth, so that one's definitely coming out. Going on here. And I probably need to get a couple more Nurglings on this base. And that's a pretty damn good spot, I think.
How many packs of Nurglings did you say you're adding? Or
Oh, into that list tomorrow? Only 2. Only 2 packs.
Now you're making more, so what's your eventual?
Oh, this is for my Chaos Knights list.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Are
have
they? Are you replacing? Are you knocking it down by another knight? Or...
No, I have 4 packs of Nurglings. I was just using the Rick's Nurglings this weekend.
Oh, you already have them in the list. Okay.
Yeah, I already have them in the list. But yeah, that list did exactly what I wanted it to do. I don't think I need to make any changes to it, so. Everything I wanted to see happen with that list happened. And it would be weird to change a good list that I know is a good list just because I had some not great luck with some dice in one game and some weird shit happened in the other one. That, is on me because I know better. So that's the 3rd time in a year that exact same thing has happened to me in a tournament, which I will change up. So, or maybe I don't because I don't give that much of a shit. So, I'm there to play and have fun and have good games and compete, but I would much rather have a fun tournament than win a tournament. There we go. I like this guy. So, can you see that guy's face? Probably not yet because it's green.
Yeah.
Kind of. He's just going, yeah. So,
Yeah.
and I got a flame boy on the back. Need to. Probably need to get another Nurgling or 2 on here.
Okay.
So I got this pants on head guy here. That's a good spot for him to go right there. And then probably over there, we'll make that fat fuck sitting on a rock, I think. So, yeah. And then I totally thought that that this was gonna take me a lot longer. So I have to go find another project to work on.
Yeah, because I was gonna do my exactor squad, but I already finished them.
Yeah. We're getting
But
pretty
that's
good
I'm
at
working
this.
on
Did you
bikes
slam out
though.
all your Nurgly boys already?
I am almost done with them, yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm gonna build. I've finished up this second squad of 5-pack of Outriders, and then I'm gonna build me a 5-pack and a hero for Deathcore Krieg Riders, using the same kind of models, but they're different bases. Try them out. If I like them, build more. If I don't, they go off their bases and they become Rough Riders.
Right. Yep.
Best sportsman. That's different than best sport, right?
What?
No. I mean, it's exactly the same, but bet sportsman.
Sportsman is
It's anchor. It's sportsman, not sportswoman. And that is a fact.
sportsman.
Yeah. That's why I just
sportsman is like I'd see a guy in a,
that's
in
in camo.
well, yeah, he's like
Out
he's
hunting
got,
duck.
He's got this hunting rifle and
Yeah. I
he's wearing the Eddie Bauer clothes and the...
Oh yeah, that's true. That's a sportsman. That's a guy who identifies himself as a sportsman, not a hunter.
He's a sportsman.
Yeah.
Sportsman.
Is that gonna be the right size for this fat boy? Jump on there, fat boy. Yeah. He's like, yeah, it's my rock. Okay.
What are you gonna do now?
I don't
We're only an
know.
hour in.
I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I don't know. I mean, I do have a little more. I got a lot of painting to do on my knights, but
Yeah, you're gonna have to prime
So you can get those Nurglings primered.
well, you can't prime it at desk.
yeah.
Not really set up for a.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
And by popular demand, Lee has a cam set up on the spray paint rack.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, because
By
people were
popular demand.
people were asking about how crazy the spray paint rack was around here. It's pretty crazy. It's substantial. It actually was a lot more substantial. I've been trying to burn a bunch of it up before I buy more.
Actually, that's actually a. This is a.
Kind
we
of
have used up a bunch of the paints.
yeah.
That represents. That's not even all of them actually, too. But
Yeah.
there's a bunch that have been taken off that shelf, and were pulled out for doing terrain.
Yeah.
When we went through this last push with these 10 tables we made. So.
Oh yeah, we go through a lot of spray paint though. Like we'll make some taggers jealous on how much spray paint we go through.
Sportsman.
Yeah, Colby won best sportsman.
Did he?
You know the guy that
They called it best sportsman?
no, best sport
Okay.
because I always do
I was
best.
like, it's Chase, so maybe.
Right. I don't give him that option.
Yeah,
Because
you stopped doing best sport, right?
no, I still do it. But it's a ribbon. It's not a trophy.
It's a ribbon. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. It's not one
Best
of the...
sport is usually a popularity contest, but it's cool. It's good to do it.
And I actually had to take it off of best overall. I liked it when it was
Yeah,
a
because
factor
you
for
can't
best
have...
overall.
Because it was screwing up when people left
When
early.
people, yeah,
or dropped. It would screw up the best overall
Yeah.
thing.
yeah. All right.
Which best overall is like the big award, basically.
Yeah, I always want best overall to be the most prestigious award because it should be everything you want want in the players. I mean,
Everything exactly.
you jump off a spray paint rack.
I love the spray paint rack though.
Yeah. But it should be what you want everybody gunning for is best sports or best overall.
Yeah.
Because it's everything in the game. It's
Well,
playing the game. It's
Yeah, it's playing. It's not being a dick.
not being a dick.
Well, it's not being a dick, but no,
Right.
it's not.
And if you can score high in best sportsman,
Good painting.
while high in best sport, while still winning, that tells you something. That means people are enjoying playing you,
Yeah.
even though you're beating them.
You're kicking the shit out of him, but they still like, he's cool though.
Let's change
Right.
it to best sportsman, and we'll do that. Trophy will be like a classic hunter with like a hunting dog.
So
his feet.
I actually just do best sport because it's sexist to do sportsman.
You mean sexy?
I mean, Dick Cheney is a sexy man.
What's not
I was about to
sexy?
say we should do a worse sport.
What's not
and have the
sexy
trophy
about a
Dick
man
Cheney
with
hunting
a
dog?
with a
Yeah.
out duck hunting with his hounds and his
And his friends he
double
shoots
barreled
in the face.
shotgun and his
Yeah. For the
Anyway,
record, I don't give a fuck if
we'll
you're Dick
stay
Cheney.
on,
You shoot me, we're not friends no more.
I got Josh's down camera going while you drum up a project.
While I ponder a project.
We ponders a project. I know I'm about to go find more spears as I go back into my crazy squat bit box. Probably
yeah.
can't see from here though.
Yeah.
Nope. And mostly, just a FYI, we mostly don't see you working on stuff because you're not holding it over the green mat. You're holding it in front of you and
Yeah.
backing away.
Yep.
Oh.
You gotta hold it over the green mat. Just put your elbows up on the green mat and work.
Okay, I'll have to retrain myself. That's so alien to me.
You don't have to do it all the time. And you're showing the model stuff. That's fine.
Well, Colby, you don't have the problem with beating people and then having them not vote for you.
Come on. Who would ever accuse Colby of being a dick?
I mean,
I'm not being sarcastic.
I have had to
He's this
step in
jolly,
between Colby and his opponent
laughy
before.
boy who's part vape, part weed vape or whatever,
I mean,
part human.
what was Colby? What was it Colby said? This conversation doesn't concern you, motherfucker.
Yeah, you know that you're being a fucking ass though when
I mean,
Colby has to check you.
If he has to say that, yeah, you've really crossed the line.
Actually, guys, I think it was Colby that crossed the line in that game.
Mean.
I think Colby, whatever strain that was, whatever vape pens, I think they were laced with fucking PCP from fucking Tijuana. Yeah, he was.
Wrong
I
subscription.
think it was tainted with PCP, and Colby got a little riled up. And then to just make matters worse, he had to play Chase.
And that was. Oh, you're going back to the.
Yeah, I'm going back to that.
Oh, that okay.
God,
Sorry,
that
I
would have
was
been a
lost
good
little
piece,
bit. I remember now.
and I didn't use it.
I remember now.
Yeah. How could you forget old Kebby? Old salty cans.
I found one. Ah.
By the way, guys, if you go to my over the top, Lee, this would be a good time to. Yeah, go to my over the top real quick. Go to Home Depot and get yourself these. They are wonderful. They stack together. So, this is my Nurgle Bits box, where I throw all my Nurgle Bits.
Do you have is your fantasy bit box back here, Jason?
What's so great about those
As
boxes?
you can see, they have wonderful little things.
What's that orange thing on the side? What is that?
They lock.
What do you mean they lock?
I mean, they lock.
The lids lock?
Yeah.
Not only do the lids lock, but if I have like 20 of these,
Wait, can you stack those up?
you can stack them up,
And then does that lock them together?
and it locks them together.
Holy shit!
And then all your bits are organized. I think they're under like $3 a piece. They're not expensive.
they're not expensive.
Yeah, they are great. And if you do a better job than I've been doing lately, you just go through and you're like, oh, okay, all these parts go in here, and then you put them in there. And it takes a little time at first to get all your bit boxes aligned and running properly. But then whenever somebody like Josh is like, hey, do you have any fantasy spears? I go check the fantasy box.
Where's the fantasy box at right now?
It's out there in the stack of
They're all
these.
stacked. They're on the Byrd's end of the crafting area.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna go check in a second.
Yeah, they're not that big either. What is that, like a foot by 10 inches or something? Or
Oh no, it's way bigger than a foot. It is. So here's a whippy stick.
I bet it's like 18 by 12.
Yeah, I think they're 18. I think Josh might have hit it right on the head. Yeah, so just under 12.
they're under 12 by 16 or something?
By 14.
Oh, 14.
Oh shit,
yeah.
I was way
Yeah.
off. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're not that big either. So they
Yeah.
fit in like a decent amount of space too. Like
Right.
You can
like if you have a
can
spot in your
stack 'em, they're
closet,
efficient.
you can put those in a cabinet, you know, like in
and
a
stack them all up
yeah,
on top of each other.
top of a closet, you know, whatever. Yeah.
These are great.
They're cool for sure.
Yeah.
When I first started and he said, "Here, look at these." And there was like 3 or 4 of them have just work stuff in them.
Yep.
And I was like, it was like, I don't know. I had to pinch myself.
Well, yeah, and that way you take sprues that you've taken everything out of. Like I need to get a night one going, and I got a bunch of stuff I got to do. But there's more stuff over here from this project. I've been just kind of throwing bits in little boxes, and I need to stop doing that because I need to stay organized. Because our space is probably drastically going to change coming up. So. Open back up. And it's just nice to know exactly where everything is. And close them up. Oh, I could just go grab some more of those. That's what I'm going to work on.
aha.
Got to get this ready so I can play some AOS. Got to get these fat boys out and running. Whap. Fat boy. Little fat boys. And their little fat boy riders.
Okay, I'm going grenades to lances.
That sounds interesting. Let me go to your camera.
Some fat Mornfang cavalries.
See, if you're comfortable there, Josh,
Yeah.
we can see what you're doing. Don't
Yeah,
have
no,
to go-
I actually lean
You don't have to
forward
go
do
any
this.
farther than that.
This is actually not that
Just so
comfortable.
you know, just for the future, that's you're on. It's good.
Okay. I will try to maintain
I'm
that.
trying to temper it so that you don't have to work like you wouldn't work too much. You know what I mean? So
What I'll do-
still got to be productive work, even though it's on stream. We'll figure it all out. We'll change cameras or. We'll figure shit out.
No, I can fix this by I stationed everything too far forward.
Yeah.
If next time if I take all my stuff and then I'll even do it right now and start moving it back where I can lean forward comfortably.
Actually, I shouldn't start this because I'm a little lost on where I'm at on it. I'm a little lost on where I'm at on it.
On your AOS?
Yeah, yeah.
What could do that?
I got most of Illumina's army sitting in a box at home.
Cities of Sigmar is getting ready to come out, Josh.
I have more than enough to do several cities of Sigma armies.
Can you actually pull up, Lee, this?
What is it? Oh, your desk?
My desk and keep me and Josh on screen? I think you can.
I was trying to. I don't know why.
Is Josh on one of the black magics?
Yes, but the thing is we're not seeing him or you. And I didn't have time to figure it out.
Oh,
You know what I
okay.
mean?
Okay. Well then,
But I can react. Here's what I can do. Hang on, just give me a second, okay?
Yep.
Let me go back to something that's not stupid. And I will.
I'm not a big fan of not stupid.
yeah, we are got to be pretty close. Well, I guess we got at least a couple weeks coming up before they'll do a 40K reassessment. I am still
When
loving.
is its first codex is supposed to come out?
Say
This is when I'm surprised. Is usually within a month they start dropping codexes.
well, real close. We're real close to Space Marine 1
Yes, which should be interesting because it's been, it's already made and printed, right?
because I think August 31st the list building app stops being free.
That's
So-
okay. Battlescribe works.
Yeah. Okay, here we go, Josh. Here is the.
Oh, wait. Is it on?
Yeah,
I actually traded a bunch of the Empire stuff for the squat
it's
stuff
on the main screen.
of the old Fantasy Empire. I still have a bunch of fantasy other stuff though.
So like here's the new.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's upside down.
Hang on.
Yeah.
I don't.
Just cancel that. There's no reason to do anything in there.
Okay.
And then just 180.
Yeah,
Just a
but
finished built
we don't
5-pack
usually
of
know
Rough
what to do
Riders.
that. That means we're gonna have to redo it for yours.
Not the cannon.
Oh.
It would be Jason, I think.
No. No, it is, yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but his overhead and your desktop are on the same.
Oh,
level.
okay.
It's the
Okay.
only way we can have both your overheads. at the same
Oh, okay. Oh, and it's just picture in picture.
Hang on.
Nice.
No, it's not. Okay. We're on the right black magic.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Black Magic is a camera.
Yeah.
It's a mixer.
Oh, it's a mixer. Okay.
Video mixer thing.
Well, never mind. We just won't be. It's fine. We don't have to watch it. Oh, there we go. Now it's right. Here, let me hit play and see if it. Ha. That's weird.
Well, it's because the source is what it should be. Hang on. You have to do them both.
Ah, okay.
Both of them won't do it right.
Here we go, Josh. So here's the new Cities of Sigmar stuff.
Yeah. I bet you I could build half those models out of bits.
Right.
Sure hope those are multi-part kits, though. There's some other things you can do with those. I'm looking at parts, mind you.
Yeah. I mean, they're cool looking minis. Yeah, like I really like. I mean, those are just
You know, if
outstanding.
they hadn't have
miniatures.
killed Fantasy Battles,
Yeah, I'll just
I would probably love Sigmar.
bounce through that. Like, look at those. Those are great. Some cool war machines. Yeah. Cities of Sigmar. Yeah, it's the AOS humans. Josh is working on more for his squat guard army.
Is it a faction?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's basically
It's not
all
another
the
game.
Yeah, it's all the good aligned races. But I think these are mostly just humans, so I do kind of like that. That's not a it's not a griffin. What is that?
Look at it. Oh, that's a.
Is it a
looks like
chimera?
tiger or a lion.
It's either a chimera or a hippogriff.
Oh, no, that's a
right?
manicore.
Oh, it's a
Or
manicore.
That's a
manicore.
manicore.
Well,
Lion head,
yeah.
scorpion tail. Yeah,
Eagle wings
Yeah.
or hawk wings. Yeah.
that's kind of cool.
It's usually a coassy thing, but I mean, it's a cool looking model. But yeah, I just want to show Josh that. They don't have any. Well, let me pause it. Oh, there we go. Don't really have any like stats or anything on what everything's
You
gonna
know
be.
when they're
in.
talking about bringing back the fantasy battle rules for something, they said that they're gonna. The Wood Elves is one of the ones they're gonna release, and I actually have enough to make a Wood Elf army right now. Just gotta go through the effort. It's in pieces and it's all over, but
Let's zoom in a little bit on this here. Fighting Blight Lords, but yeah, we got some cool cannons. Looks like some spear line with looks like black powder on top of it.
no shit.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
if you're doing things where the whole steam tanks, things like that, would be. You can't miss out on that shit. You need it.
Here's an ogre with a gunner on top.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. I mean, that's cool. That's a cool pony. Free Guild Cavaliers. I mean, these are some really good miniatures, man.
no, their design's great. Now, I hope they're multi-part.
No, they're not gonna be.
That-
Those days are done, man.
ugh.
Yeah, and there's that.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it's a manicore. The days of like you know how the orc kit has the body and then it has the arms and they've got the legs and the head and everything. It's now they've gone to these more these computer sliced kits, like the
The monopose bullshit.
Beast Snagus?
Beast Snagus. Yep.
So the click fit shit. The
Not-
stuff where it said no glue?
No, not the click fit stuff. That's for new kits, entry level kits where they want people to be able
That
to
was the Beast Snagger boy.
Right. I'm talking the other ones that weren't push fit that are just like, yeah, so it's got the back, the arm, and then the leg and the chest slot in. And so there's no customizing that without building it and then cutting it apart. Whereas the old
Yes, because
Yeah.
you used to get legs and a torso.
Yeah.
with 2 blank spots to put whatever arm on you wanted.
Yep. And I mean, the miniatures look cooler. They're more dynamic. All of that stuff. But it's just from a customizing.
modeler's standpoint.
Maybe they'll let us read more about the miniatures. Or is that just the same shit?
So I need 2 more spears.
There's another picture. Like, I mean, that's a different ogre than we saw in the other one with a different guy on top. So, like, I mean, you'll be able to put different guys on top. That will be use, but they'll still be essentially the same. We saw a couple different riders on the Manicore, and, you know, I'm sure this will have a couple different things to it.
I can't put my finger on it. There's something always that's a little off about the aesthetic in Age of Sigmar.
It's really,
It's not the old world.
because
That's all I
this
see.
this is old world here.
Well, and I don't have a dog in that.
That
but what I'm saying is just
Sigmar stuff just look.
the stuff on their own. Like,
Yeah,
The
Take
Sigmar
your
stuff
face
looks pretty
value.
old worldly.
yeah. There's a definitive cutoff between old fantasy and Age of Sigmar.
Yeah, like whole new design concepts and teams.
Yeah, well, it's high fantasy versus low fantasy too.
yeah.
Any other new shit in here? Not really. That Manicore's really good looking though.
Yeah,
Damn.
that's something a cool
That is-
model that dude.
It is a really good looking
I
model.
will say that.
A really cool looking model. Oh, look. To the Lord. Nobody will ever click on that. All right, you can go back to Josh's table.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody will ever look at that Age of Sigmar lore.
Oh dear God.
And then there was an age, and like Sigmar was in it.
hmm
It was like his age.
Oh, that is one thing I should do. Lee, will you remind me to spray paint those ninjas?
Oh,
So I'll spray them tomorrow, and then that way,
ninja.
maybe I'll do that next hobby stream. Maybe I'll paint up some Ninjagoos.
Yeah, why don't you prime him?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
I think that's a great idea. I'm riding ninjas.
Yeah.
Need to find something to do with the egg bots.
Yeah. Ninjas. But yeah.
Ninja.
So what have you been delving hard into, Lee? Anything fun?
No.
No, nothing fun?
Nope.
Nothing fun?
Well, that's not true. I've been making our painting table.
Yeah. Yep.
I've been making our painting table and some other things like that. Of course, we just finished up that terrain. I did trophy bases, which was,
Oh yeah.
that is what it is.
And we got the chainsaw
Chainsaws are getting
going.
started, and yeah, I'm just plugging away here at stuff, and it's varying levels of fun. Some of it is not.
Oh, we need to flip Josh's camera again now.
What'd I do?
What happened?
You didn't do anything. But
Are you not? Oh, what happened to your cam? Oh, see?
yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
That's why I had it set up in a different.
I know.
I don't understand that because I switch. Oh no, I don't.
You don't.
I don't.
Yeah.
It's a different scene.
Yeah.
And I have to call it something different.
What was I looking for? Oh, I forgot the piece of the chainsaw. And kind of show the chainsaw.
That would be kind of cool though.
You didn't really need it, right?
Oh no.
Being on 40s, these guys as infiltrators,
We gotta get it out.
Because I have to fix that.
I should cover a lot of ground. I can cover a lot of real estate with that.
I primed the handle.
Oh. So, here's what the trophies we're working on are. So, we didn't want to get them too big and obscene because a lot of our trophies are just way, way, way too
Yeah.
big. So,
Yeah, we do have a problem of getting really ambitious.
well, I mean, we do them all, but they're just
supersized.
they're just too big. So, anyway, I mean, I have little hands, so it's just right for me. But I do. Little hands, smell of cabbage. But yeah, so
Case in
chainsword.
point, there's
There's
one
that
of the teeth
that
that's
Lee
getting
fixed.
That's not quite done yet, but yeah.
But yeah, so and
Gotta
we
let
got
that shit harden, and I'm shaping it now with tools.
yep, and then we've got and then chainsword, and then there's 3 more pieces on the chainsword. So we go that far. Whoop. So, and then the tip of the chainsword that we have to do a little work on that. But hopefully the next one's the way I'm printing them. Hopefully they won't need that work. But yeah, so we can essentially do one of these chainswords in 2 days. So, just some cool little chainswords. Like a chainsword, what? Motherfucking chainsword, what? But yeah, so we'll just hang out with you guys, bullshit with you for a half hour. Half hour is too short a time to dig into a hobby project. But not long. Too short a time, but too long of a time. So I'll just bullshit with you guys while Josh is working on his stuff.
Yeah. I gotta go get some spears in a minute. Here's another project for a future day, but it's come up as a reclaim this Lehman Russ.
Nice.
Build
Yeah.
responses for it.
Yeah.
Figure out where it's broken and make that custom.
Yep.
I like reclamation projects, actually, as far as hobbying goes. That's one cool thing about the squat army is it's basically a giant reclamation project. You know, I'm using bits and pieces from everywhere and doing all kinds of conversions and trying to get it, you know, to look at least what I think is cool.
Yeah, Josh has spent the last half a decade plus hunting down every metal squat body he could ever find for everything.
I had bits and pieces, and then I did a really good trade. Thank you. You know who you are. And he hooked me up.
Yeah.
Because I got like 50, 60 bodies in one fell swoop. And that's where I got the majority of my bikes. And at that point, it was like, oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Uh,
And now he's 3D printing a lot of extra bikes and then putting metal guys on them. And
it was making all those many authentic pieces that I can work. And then, you know, going from there.
And there's a lot of real good 3D prints out there for squat stuff, like original squat stuff.
I can do actually. There's some 3D prints that I can make that where you can't really tell the difference. And that's nice. There's some nice ones.
Well, it's nice. It's nice that they were in metal too, and so they weren't exactly like they were metal minis. So the
You can only
detail,
get so detailed in metal.
right?
Although some of them are just great, and I love the
Yeah.
whole teasiness. My army is older than most of my opponents.
Yeah.
Really enjoy that.
Yep. I wish new squats were playable.
Those aren't squats.
Oh, they are so
Or as I
bad.
like
I
to
was
put it
waiting
there.
for that.
Oh, you there,
I was
fat
like
boy.
counting down in my head. It only took a second.
You got dangly bits, or you smooth like a Ken doll. You know.
Yeah, the Leagues of Votan. Holy crap, that book is bad. I don't know how you.
They're
bring...
in a league of their own.
Yeah, they
Well,
are.
they have such limited models. I mean, you could probably fix the whole army with one or two releases, give them some options.
No,
what
Josh.
the rules better.
Those rules are bad.
Like I said, you'd have to release something that works into the rules real good. I haven't looked at them real closely, so I can't.
They might have their day at some point or get up, you know, but it ain't coming soon.
Yeah, they had. I mean, they had. Well, they'll get a codex, and who the fuck knows what happens in that codex. But Games Workshop will be real gun shy because they were so good at release.
Well, also one thing the Games Workshop did set themselves up for though,
A failure?
with the whole because you know you take your army and then you take your your Space Marine army and then you take your your detachment
the
type.
detachment thing or whatever.
Right, so you can radically
what is that
affect
called?
an
An
army just by
allied-
giving them a new attack
The
detachment.
allied detachment or whatever.
But you can also break an army to the point there's only one detachment that's worth the shit. Gladius.
Well, that's the truth. Well, right now most people only have one. But let's say, for example, Games Workshop gave a fuck and they could react fast enough. You could put a new detachment rules in a White Dwarf
no.
for
you can't be doing that.
Votan.
You can't be doing that. You cannot. cannot. That is one of the things Games Workshop cannot do for competitive play is put rules anywhere else.
Yeah.
It
I forget how dumb people are. You're right.
Yeah. Well, and not only that, but you shouldn't have to pick up a bunch of publications to know what your opponent's rules are.
Didn't they?
Well, if they're
didn't
smart-
they fix that with Forge World and just
If
go
they're
around?
smart, they put
They
the
have so
detachment
far.
in White Dwarf, right? You print it out in White Dwarf,
Oh yeah, I know.
and then
ruling out yeah.
after White Dwarf comes out, you put it online also with the army.
Yeah,
And you add it to there. If you made it like that,
except for Josh. Remember that Army Builders, that app's no longer going to be free.
no, I mean, well, on their indexes, I mean.
Yeah. No. And even that, people shouldn't have to try to dig. Like, I don't know. I think they should just have a $5.99 Warhammer Plus should get you access to every codex that is released. If you are subscribed to Warhammer Plus,
Yeah, if the army builder wasn't jank, I'd be also helpful.
Dude, their Army Builder is really good.
It's not bad.
the new one is really,
No,
really
Have
good.
you seen the new one?
No, I've used it.
Yeah.
The
It,
new
it has parts I like. It has features
Yeah.
I really like. It has
Well,
other
it's
things I
fine.
don't.
You know
Why?
why it's good? Because they got rid of fucking points, and we're all just playing with battle points.
Well, yeah, it's easy. It should be easy.
Yeah, we're all just playing with battle points.
Yeah.
But they knew
worth it.
people
I
would
do
yell at
hate
them.
that, though. They should fucking goddamn fix that. We should pay for upgrades. Damn
Well,
it.
that's part of the problem with why Gene Stealer cults are so good. Gene Stealer cults aren't good.
But their 1,000,000,001 upgrades are all free.
Yeah.
Demo charges are amazing.
They didn't put enough stuff in
Yeah, they used to pay like
because
30 points a piece for them, right?
enhancements cost, right?
Right.
So they should have, you know what I mean, like put
Yeah.
more stuff. If they're gonna still have that in,
Yeah, it's.
I don't know.
And now the problem is they'll have to
They
take.
could call it. You can call it weapon enhancements or something.
They'll have to take that basic bitch Gene Stealer squad now and up its points because of the demo charges. As opposed to just handling the demo charges.
And then anything that's a combined thing, I mean, I don't know why guys in guard are bitching about it, but guys are bitching like the Malice rocket launchers and the heavy las cannons went up in points because the field ordnance gun is indirect.
Yeah.
Now the other ones I personally think are tits on a bull. I don't know. You know,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah, I don't-
they don't do nothing.
No.
But
Well, especially not on Games Workshop terrain. Any non-mobile artillery. The Orc guy did have 6 custom mega cannons in his army.
well, they're cheap.
They were good. Yeah, they were cheap. They're
They're
good.
cheap, and you had enough of them to cover firing lanes.
Well, and more importantly, they're dirt cheap. Go to the corners and do objectives.
Yeah.
You actually have to throw some shit at him to kill him. I liked it. I liked it a lot, actually. I'd probably do quite the copy of a lot of portions of his list. There's a couple things I would have rather saw. Like I think the characters, because he had 3 packs of Squig Hog Boys, which Squig Hog Boys are great. 3 packs.
Yeah.
But
I was playing against those.
fine, but I know what they do. So
Did they
I was
play
like,
good, though?
I was like, oh yeah, they played great.
Okay.
But I'm like, I got to get these
I made
eliminated.
so many of those, and
Yeah.
when I pull my shit out again, I
No,
wanna-
those are good.
Yeah. And I really like the character that goes with him. He is just devastating to vehicles.
Mosrog?
No. The little character that goes in every one of those little groups.
Oh, the
The
knob on Smash. the
knob
Screen.
on Smash the Squig. He's really good for his points.
Are
Like
those tied to that unit now?
Well, they're a hero. You can add to that.
you can
unit.
add them to the unit. Yeah.
So that makes them better as far as I'm concerned.
They're separate, but at game start you put them in the units. Yeah. So I think at least 2 of those guys. Yeah, but the grot tanks were cute. So every time you move within once per turn, whenever you move within 10 or 12 inches of those grot tanks, they get a free move, and their move's 10 inches.
I think I have 10 or 12 grot tanks built, Lee.
Yeah,
if you ever want to
yeah,
play
they're a cute unit. He had a lot of units of them.
I started putting parts aside to make grot tanks.
Yeah, and their guns aren't bad.
gonna-
I have a whole
totally-
bunch already built.
Oh, I was gonna totally like
Yeah,
bash it up.
their guns are real good.
No, the print for those are easy. I could
Yeah,
have
I was gonna
it
try to
printed
say.
out a grot tank army tomorrow.
So my first game was against. All my opponents were great, by the way. Again,
Yeah, I did really like that.
yeah.
And I liked how the missions kept games close and in the late game, things could happen to change the game with drawing missions.
Oh, my first wisher was Ryan. Ryan Lynn was my first game against Gene
well, I
Steelers.
mean,
Yeah.
you can't win them all.
Well, that was going to be a problem at the tournament because it's not good. And this is another thing we need to talk about on tournaments is how to make the tournament so that some of the top players aren't playing each other round one. Because then that means one of them's going to lose. And then that means one of them is going seal clubbing for a while. Till probably game 5. Which is not really the best.
Isn't that a weird? I mean, in one way.
What if they did it like NASCAR?
If they lose,
You had
early,
a player rating, right? It only affects the very first round, where the top player versus the worst player, and back and forth like
that's I was
chess.
just going to say that because it shouldn't. If you're saying what you're saying is one of those players is automatically not in that top 8 the first day.
Oh, one of those players. When me and Ryan played, whoever lost that game,
But they
no
should
chance
be.
at the tournament.
But you're saying they should be.
And it's not so much they should be because you should just have to win whatever, and it shouldn't matter when you play people.
Yeah.
But for the rest of the tournament, it does, because now you have a shark down in the kiddie pool, where he's just gonna roll through the next.
Yeah, for entertainment tournaments, round 1, if you did it, where I hate to say it, and a lot of you guys did a rank worse. It's like, I have to play the best player.
Actually,
he's moving on anyway.
Actually, Josh, it's the other way around. It's the lower ranked player will be like, well, now I don't have a chance of winning the tournament.
Well, there'll be a bitch, but I mean, I don't mean to be it, but you're the lower ranked player. If you
You
have a
still-
chance to win the
you mean
tournament,
you
you're going to
still
beat that
don't have a
top ranked guy.
chance of
You
winning the
still don't
tournament?
have a chance of winning the
But
tournament.
if you're going to win the tournament, you're going to beat that top ranked guy anyways.
And
So I don't want to hear an argument. You
And
actually
in
get shot
fact,
at it.
and there is an ELO ranking out now. And if BCP could implement that, you'd have the highest ELO ranking at the tournament versus
How's
the
the
lowest.
weaker player going to learn, Skyler?
Well,
That would be. I think it would
Here's
be
how
more
the weak-
beneficial.
here's how
Come on,
the
if you're actually a weak player
'Cause if you-
or
if
low
you-
ELO,
you
thinking you're
can't
going to
have
win the
the tournament, so
you knock
all
a
the-
big gun out turn 1.
So weaker, quote unquote, using your word,
Yeah.
weaker players could be a newer player, could be a whatever, or new army or whatever.
Here's
could
how
be
it-
a lot of reasons. You can't make it so they all have a win first round or
It-
something like.
here's how it makes the tournament better for the newer, weaker players. Right. So Skylar, you come to the tournament, right? Let's say you're the weakest player, I'm the strongest player, right? We play each other round 1. Now your round 2 is not going to be another shark that got beat at a top table. So it will
You'll
immediately
quickly get players in against matches where the equivalent skill sets,
right.
where you have battles where
It will
doesn't
get it-
matter who's stronger. weaker.
It will
You're
get
placing-
people of equivalent skill sets into that sweet spot that happens day 2, where your last 2 games are pretty much going to be against equally skilled opponents. It gets it there 1 round, 2 rounds faster.
Yeah, and
because
that's
you
fun.
don't
That's the
have
best
the
parts of
randomness.
tournaments.
Right.
You don't want to sit there and either destroy guys or get
Right.
destroyed.
Right.
You want battle.
Your goal is to just have increasingly tougher matches
Yeah, until you hit that point in your
until
wall.
you hit that point. It would do a lot. The only thing I will say is it would really eliminate a lot of like a guy's been playing for only like 6 months and all of a sudden gets lucky round 1, round 2, round 3, and all of a sudden he's sitting 3-0 and he's high on the
and then
mountaintop
and then just get trounced.
and then get trounced.
Yeah.
It would
Like
eliminate,
super low scores get taken.
but it would eliminate that high feeling that they have because they're going to get knocked out much earlier.
Yeah.
I just think, he said something about, we can't all be professional Warhammer players
Right,
or whatever.
right.
And it's like, it's not really, that would be the point is, you want your first, I mean,
The point is you're going to be
it
into
would also
people.
benefit the lower or the more casual players because you'd be against casual.
Well, yeah, you're going to have a lot more fun at tournament if you give it up right there. That win or lose, the end goal. If you realize the end goal is to have fun.
Have fun
Try
and
to
get
figure
better
that
and
out,
play
have much
5
fun.
games and have 5 games against.
Oh, so is he agreeing with us? No.
Yeah, so the Titans
I was
fighting
just
each other
confused.
round 1
Yeah.
is because, like, let's say, so the Titans fighting each other round 1 means they're not going to fight each other round 4. which means that some person that
Yeah.
probably isn't on the upper end of the play scale is going to end up getting trounced in round 3.
It is weird because does seem like gaming the system in a way, but they do this in other.
They do this in
ranked-
every competitive
Yeah.
thing there is.
There should
there is-
be tiers, right?
Well, I hate to say it, when you're doing it for, like, if you want this to be an esport, you want people to watch it, you kind of need to do that anyways, because once again, people want to watch names. They don't want to watch fucking, you know.
The
You
way
might
that-
have a Cinderella story once in a while that's cool, but
But here's the thing: you don't even need to do it past round 1.
no, just round 1. After
Oh, no,
that, man,
yeah.
you go.
Just round 1.
And that new player put against a veteran is bitching that put him out of the tournament. If you had a legitimate shot at the tournament, you took the veteran in turn 1 anyways, right? Because you're going to have to go to that guy at some point
Right.
to win the tournament.
Right.
You can't take him around 1. You're not going to take him
Right.
around fucking 6.
Right.
Fine.
But now the other really good player is now down in a pool of players that he is just going to run through for
Yes,
the next.
And those might not be fun games if they're not challenging.
well, they're not fun games.
So
Nobody's
my point
having
is,
fun
like,
there.
Nobody's having fun there because
Right.
a newer player is getting their ass just completely mauled. and
Right. In the
handed to
current system, a new player could end up having 3 really good players right in a row his first 3 games. If you do it this other way,
You'll get-
your odds go down considerably, and it takes a round off that.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going
I like the
to
idea of
quickly
it.
get other guys with equivalent skill set.
The way you're doing I think the shadow round thing plus the what do you call that? Pole? You said pole position? Like,
No, it's
what is that?
Look
a
at
ranking
it.
or
Consider it the way March Madness does it.
just play your rank.
The number 8 seed plays the number 1 seed. Like that's how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it would just be
Seeding.
It's seeding the tournament.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
Seeding.
Yeah,
I'm
okay,
sorry,
yeah, that's
that's the
equivalent.
exact word I was trying to. dig out of
Everything
my-
that uses a bracket system does it, so that you don't have a
Yeah.
weak bracket portion in a
Yeah, I think
less.
it's got to
Yeah,
be.
if you're doing
I think
professional
it's got to
sports, you
be
wanna look
like
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Figured out. 'Cause,
Yeah, but
like why
the-
not win? Like why not? Also, you could be best in your bracket or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you could be like, yeah, I'm the
Well,
king.
didn't,
I'm the king of the bottom of the
didn't-
barrel.
didn't,
Like,
Tacoma
that would
Open
feel
have that?
good.
Bracket
No,
system?
no, not the start. It was completely random. And then after game 4, because you're playing 8 games, then they broke the entire tournament up into brackets, which
See,
I
if-
also don't
if-
like, based on opponent's win percentage. So you've only played 4 games
Yeah.
with 400 players there, and guys are getting tossed out of the top bracket where they had no control over anything.
No, that's terrible.
Yeah.
And also because there's RNG in the game. This isn't chess or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't just a game with a set of rules.
No,
and the
there's
two
total
players
random
play.
chess.
There is RNG, so I think it's also stupid to make it random in the beginning.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't make sense for this game, and you can't say, well,
And,
I
you
just
know,
think people would have a better tournament experience, whether they realize it or not. They'd have a better tournament experience
Yeah.
if they're matched up against more equivalent opponents.
And
Their
LVO
wins and losses
right.
will mean
right.
no.
And LVO, their solution a couple years back, and it got, I mean, holy shit, guys got pissed. Which I agree with it, but I don't agree with it. Was if you win the LSO or the Bay Area Open or whatever, you get
the shadow round or whatever.
no, you get buys. You get buys. So if you're ranked in the top 16, you get a round 1 buy. If you win the LSO, you get a round buy. And so there was some people that were going to end up getting 2 round buys at LVO.
So, you know, you should max at 1.
if there's an, so you're not talking, you're talking about top players by their ranking somehow, right?
Yeah.
By their
Essentially,
ITC or whatever.
Yeah.
So then, is this going to open up the door for like, what if somebody thinks or is like on the edge of being in that top 8?
That's why ELO. That's why I think ELO is the way to go.
Yeah.
40K Stat Center's doing ELO.
Okay.
My problem with the way they implemented it, I have no problems with the way they implemented ELO, as long as we knew there was an ELO system. So, you have guys like me. I go to a tournament. The second I lose my first game, I don't give a shit. I'm showing guys how to beat me. I don't care.
With an
Hey,
ELO system, you kind of want to keep going.
in an ELO system, you only gain ranks by beating players above you. You only lose ranks by losing players that were below me. I didn't know that my previous play was going to have any impact on a current ELO ranking.
Right.
So
if we, that system does get implemented, it needs
Right.
people need to be told.
yeah. So
And
unlike
suddenly, also, would that matter on things like dropping in tournaments?
no, because the only way you gain or loss is beat somebody higher than you, lose to somebody lower than you. That's the only way you gain ELO rankings.
Okay.
And which I'm fine with. I think it's a just fine ranking system, except you can't go back and take data that was from before we knew that this was an ELO ranking system. Because like I said, when I used to go to tournaments, it was, oh, I lost a game. I don't give a shit now.
Yep.
Hey, I don't care if this kid's been playing for 15 minutes and him beating me is the highlight
Honestly,
of his...
I still do it.
Yeah. And him beating me is his highlight of his tournament. No, because now it matters.
But I'm not. You're gonna win tournaments now with sort of flukes. Or I just had my best day ever. Right.
Should we do just go to like in all your
I'm
other?
going to have fun.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't actually care in the long run
So
what yellow is.
here's what I'm wondering is, would this work if an even number of players? So you have those top 8 identified, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna all have to show up at fucking. The problem is with the shadow round. That's based on who's in that top
Currently,
8,
yeah.
in the current
game.
tournament
Yeah.
only.
Right.
Right. So yeah, I guess you would. That's what I would wonder is, would you have to expand it?
But you don't
You'd
get...
have to go beyond the top 8, right?
Well,
You'd have
and
to take.
the thing is, you don't get a full extra round by taking 8.
Was that you?
Yeah, that was me.
You'd really have to do the 16
16
in the first round.
16 buys.
The
Yeah,
16
it's
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'd have to do 16
In order to-
or you'd have to make sure those 16 people. Here's what I was going to say is you have to make sure that 16 of the top players that are likely to be in the 8
right.
play weaker opponents in the first round.
And then
That's
how
the way you would fix it with your system, right?
Well,
You'd have
the
to
seeding
expand
system
it to
the
16.
seeding system works even better.
Okay.
Because here's why. As long as BCP
I can't believe I understand this.
As long as BCP can implement this into BCP through programming and through an algorithm, no problem. So it just feeds through, okay, who's the highest ranked player?
Sure.
Cool. Who's the lowest ranked player? Cool. Those two play.
And it doesn't matter.
And it doesn't matter where they
you're
land.
usually from Spokane. And
Doesn't
you
matter.
Usually don't play here or whatever.
Doesn't matter.
And you're the lowest ranked there, but you're the highest ranked here, or
Where,
vice versa.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Where you end up in the worldwide ELO rankings.
Worldwide only.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I
And
mean,
honestly, that'd probably get better yellow rates.
But
Really
still-
quick, like guys would get to where they're,
Still,
where they're
for your
at.
purposes, it's compared to everyone else signed up for your tournament.
If
Correct.
you are, let's say, a really
Correct.
good player who's never
you're
played
already-
the tournaments,
Yeah.
so you're already taking the number 1 seed
That's
at the
fine.
tournament,
Yeah.
and they play the last seed. The
Yeah,
number
and
2
also-
guy plays the second to last seed.
And what
Third
a great,
guy plays the third to last seed.
In the Northwest, what a great way to place to implement this, because you're gonna have a guy. These guys are all gonna know, hey, I'm doing a teaching game for my first fucking
Right.
game, basically.
Yep.
Which is a good, I had some great experiences with that.
Right.
And
Right.
I think that's a very, and of course I lost or whatever.
that's
those
also a
games,
way, like, if you're a
but
tournament,
it's
nobody,
a beneficial.
It gives
People making sure that you
gives
don't
the
miss out
people-
on your roles and all these things. Like that makes it a good experience.
it does a couple things. It makes it so people get sorted quicker into levels of play. The other thing it does is it gives the top player a warm-up game. And it also lets them enjoy the start of the tournament a little bit without having to stress. The next thing it does, it shows, as long as it's a good player that's a good ambassador to the sport, it shows the newer players, because these are going to be the newest players that have the lowest ELO scores. It shows the newest players that the best players in the area aren't pieces of shit, that they're good guys. Especially in an area like the Pacific Northwest, it would be intimidating as shit to have to play Colby or, or Nick Johnson or Tyler or any of them. But it would be
Yeah,
intimidating
all
as
those
shit.
names of
Being
all
a
those guys.
brand new person and having to play against somebody that you've seen on YouTube that you see is on the U.S. national team, that would be an intimidating as fuck thing. To find out, hey, those are cool guys. And hey,
That's what I think is
Maybe
great
you end up-
about it. Is
right.
you can run into those guys
maybe you go to
and
lunch
find
with
out
them.
later that they're
Yeah.
on the net, and all that stuff, and
Right.
and be like, oh wow,
Wow, I played the guy that was on the U.S. national team.
I never
Also,
realized.
for that guy who doesn't do much tournaments, who plays in the basement, who thinks he's that good, if you actually are that good,
Right.
You will quickly advance to ELO because you're like your very first game,
course.
right?
Right.
You're
Yeah. Oh,
matched
yeah.
against somebody who's real good. You're going to score huge points.
Oh,
in your
massive.
that game.
Yeah, you're jumping up massive.
Wow, you just slapped. The
You're
shit
jumping
out of
up
somebody.
10,000 points.
Right.
In the
Somebody
ELO
who,
ring.
you know,
Yeah. It's and it's
Yeah,
I
get
just
in-
think it's
get
a
in
better
that-
way of doing
splash
things.
around in a slightly bigger pond and have fun with people. Don't
right.
Don't keep it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just think it's a better overall metric. I need to get a chance to talk to McKelvey outside of like a tournament setting and talk to him
Yeah,
about
you need,
implementing.
Because I think it's all that. The one idea, so whoever brought up, I fucking hated that. But these other one, I love this whole thing with the top players. If you really want to win you're committing. You still got to leave early on Sunday, so you got to get up early. Fine. I love this whole thing. Let's figure out this first round thing.
But then the first round thing,
I think it's all good feeling.
It's nothing we can do here on our own.
You can't.
No,
you
we
couldn't
got to-
go
we
by
got to go.
the.
This has to be
You couldn't go
community-wide.
by the rankings the way they exist now.
I would no, because it would have to all be done manually.
Yeah, you have to somebody sit down and actually math
Can
it
you
the
do
fuck
it?
all out.
You can't do it like do a random and then manually adjust it.
You
Or
could,
something?
but the time
Would that just be seen?
you
as
don't have
not-
enough time between the time everybody's checked in and the time the tournament starts. So you don't know if there's a drop day of.
People check in.
Well, it's
Check in when
You
you hit the
couldn't-
parking lot, bitches.
you couldn't, Lee. Now, because now you have to go through the ELO rankings. You're gonna have to use the search function. It's gonna be a fucking
Look up your rankings and,
yeah.
and
No, this
email
is
them to
something.
Jason
This is
Byrd.
something that Best Coast pairings would have to put into
Oh, and
the
they're
app.
not. They already kind of. Didn't somebody that we know contact them about fixing some shit for them, and they
Yeah.
said no, that we got it, and then.
But they have done a bunch of shit.
Have
So,
they?
Yeah, yeah.
Alright.
Best Coast pairings hasn't had issues for a while.
So they're not like the okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been doing all
But are they
right.
gonna? But see, that's the thing. Is like, if you're calling, is this something that's being called for, other than around here?
No, because I don't think so. Here's part of the problem.
Yeah.
Most players that play 40K, I'm just gonna throw this out there, weren't involved in sports. You can tell the guys that really weren't involved in
What are you
sports
trying to say?
because
I don't
those are the guys that can't take the L. They just can't take it.
Right.
It's
Which
everybody's
is one of the
fault,
most
but
important
theirs.
lessons from any cooperative, competitive, like team building.
Or even solo sports.
yeah.
Because if you are going up to tackle another human
But
being,
I'm saying when you're learning those things,
Yeah, it's
in
real
your
binary.
formative
Somebody's
years,
gonna win
yeah.
and somebody's
somebody's
losing.
going to win, somebody's going to lose.
can't
You are
have
going to
a
get
winner
humiliated
without it.
emotionally, physically, and mentally at some point playing sports. And you have to
At
get
some
up and go, good job, bud. You were the better man. And that's just what you have to do.
Yeah.
And it will happen to you, no matter how good you are. You will get embarrassed out on an athletic field.
Yeah.
And you have to
And the
learn.
answer to doing is to the remedy for this is not cheating.
Right. It is to
By the
go.
way.
It is to go. Nice job, bud.
Yeah.
Good job, man.
Or even if you were super excited to win, which you are at sports all the time,
You should be.
and your adrenaline is flying,
That's what's
you have to be
know,
able to learn to control yourself and go, hey, good job, you won.
That's motivate. You got to be motivated.
Yep.
By the way,
Yep.
hang on 1 second. This is scintillating. However, Josh,
Yes.
did that fucking trick work
Which trick? Oh, it did. It did actually quite well.
when you went outside? with
As you
with the
see,
resin?
not only did the resin lock the arm in place,
Are you
right?
shitting me?
Not only the resin locked the arm in place, but it filled the gaps in pretty well too. I'm gonna have to like put a primer on it, so I know, but
Wow.
it looks fairly good.
And that feels like it's going to stay on there.
Oh, yeah, it's not going anywhere.
Well, look, they've seen people do other things where they use like a little UV laser pointer.
Yeah.
Josh,
Make
get
it
the smokes off the
probably
screen.
have one on a desk.
Get the smokes off the cam. There you go.
Okay, sorry.
We would.
It's okay.
We wouldn't want teenagers thinking it was cool to
Do I
use
have to go and
tobacco
do I have to
products.
blur that out now?
No, you don't have to blur that out. We're
I
not.
will.
Big,
I'll do it.
Jason,
we're not big enough
what
to
are
care.
the chances that teenagers are gonna think anything I do is cool?
Oh,
What's that, Josh?
there might be.
What are the odds that teenagers think anything I do is cool?
Uh,
Yeah.
There's 50-50 probably.
But yeah,
Maybe
I
a little
think
better depending.
Yeah.
I think there are ways we can make the tournaments better, more competitive, but at the same time maintaining like the
Yeah.
like the competitive aspect, but at the same time maintaining the enjoyment and the fun.
That's what you're trying to do.
That's my
You're
that's my
walking.
entire
There's
goal.
there's a fucking sharp razor blade. And
Right.
On one side of it is fun.
Yeah.
And on the other side of it is competition.
Right.
And you're walking it. You're barefoot, like sliding across.
And
it.
I've been sliding.
you're-
I've been
yeah.
sliding across it
Yeah.
barefoot for half a decade now,
Yeah.
and eventually I'll slip and slice my fucking foot off. But until that day comes, I'm gonna keep trying.
You play team sports, you'll get over it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
Well,
you
what,
know,
what I'm saying is it's hard. Like your feet are getting cut up, but you're staying on there.
yeah.
And you're trying to, somebody's not going to like it.
Yeah.
no,
but
no matter what you do,
You're
there's
trying to
always
have the
somebody who
least
feels
amount of people
But what's so
be
cool
disappointed.
is 40K in the Northwest has gotten so good now.
Yeah.
I think next year I am
And
probably
Skylar sees what you're doing.
I am probably just gonna cut it down to
He
3
gave you a
tournaments next year,
compliment.
Josh. 3 big ones.
Yeah.
I am probably just gonna do we're probably just gonna do Slaneshmas, Tau Tipping, and Harbor Heresy.
Okay.
There's no reason for us to do any more. Chase and those guys, the Olympia scene's got quite a few, and there's going to be a new player coming into the Olympia scene that wants to run some more tournaments.
We should do a couple smaller RTTs.
Oh,
for
dude,
locals
look,
too.
I'm not talking RTTs. We could
RTTs aren't.
RTTs or
He's
throw
just
one of
talking
those
about the
together.
big-
Yeah, okay.
I'm talking
As long as you
about-
do some of that, but as far as
Talking
big
about large
events,
GTs.
GT or more,
Also,
yeah, 3 a year.
if you do less, they'll probably all be big GTs then.
Right,
Right. Too.
Yeah.
So,
We can go as many GTs
which
you
should be the
want.
hope.
And this is, the past couple years, it's been okay.
And I think
Bob says
Vulcan has really fallen off, and I think
Yeah.
it's that
well,
one.
I
can
have a
go for
solution
sure.
to next year's Vulcan.
Well, you just said you're
No.
Harbor
Free beer?
Heresy.
Oh, it'll be a lot
You
of
said
free beer.
Heresy, Tau Tipping,
Tau
and
Tipping,
Slaneshmas.
and Slaneshmas.
Actually, that would be
It won't be called.
interesting
I mean, I
GT
might
to
name
do.
it Vulcan Summer Barbecue, but what I'm going to do next year
Do a 21 or over
Is-
party GT.
So here's what I plan on doing. So, depending on
Color me
what's
intrigued.
going on, if we have a certain location, what we will be doing is we will take, in the middle of the summer sometime, we're going to take a 3-day weekend. That 3-day weekend is going to be an invitational only,
Oh, there you go.
3-day, true softball style double elimination tournament.
And not the crazy tables.
Not the crazy tables. No, this is
This
going to
is
be
different.
This is going to be competitive. The guys can camp out like in a.
Oh, I see.
Everybody
If
can
you
camp
wanna
out.
do- That's
Campground
fine.
thing?
Listen.
Family
Here's the
property.
thing. Don't.
The family
Yeah.
property.
Family property might,
You can't
but-
see me anymore on the camera, but I
but
just.
guys
looked at
guys are going to
both
want
of them.
access to certain things.
They'd have it.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, regardless of any of that, let's just stop
Yeah,
because this sounds like something really cool, and we don't want to curse it. We don't want to
Yeah.
build it up.
Yeah.
And then for some reason it not be
yeah.
possible.
But
We want to hit you with it.
But
I see
yeah,
what you're doing.
it should
and
be-
now my wheels are spinning too.
it should
so-
be a blast. The
there'll be
whole
something
thing,
good.
the
Yeah.
whole thing gets streamed.
And it'll be the thing I wanted to do, kind of mixed with it.
Yeah, and in double elimination softball style,
Yes.
you can lose the first game
Yeah.
and come back and win the entire tournament. Difference is, you got to play 14 fucking games.
Oh Jesus.
You can win the tournament. I think 32.
So wait. So what's
you play
the
5
cap?
games, you can win the
If
tournament.
it's invitation only, then what's the?
So that
It would have to get it done in 3 days. You'd have to.
it will not be based. It will not have anything to do based on skill. This will be people that understand the concept of what we're doing here. Because you could play 2 games day 1. You could play 1 fucking game day 2
Okay.
if you're winning. So if you win your first 2 games, you might only play 1 game on Sunday, and then you might have 2 on Monday or Friday or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you lose your first
If you
game,
did it right, like where there's a campground or
If
something
you-
where people are entertained.
if you
yeah.
lose your first game, you are then playing every 3 hours for the rest of the fucking weekend till you lose your second.
And these are 3-hour games.
And these are
These
3-hour
being
games.
clocked,
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. Softball bracket is fucking amazing.
Yeah, I'm down.
We won a
would
state
be a
tournament one
thing,
year
like,
that we
that's-
lost our first game.
Yeah.
And I think we played 14 games.
I love the concept of it because it's like a different it's another way during the summer to have a barbecue, and I think it's less stale than the kooky table rules and all
And
that.
everybody
like,
hangs out. We camped out in an open area. We got, yeah. Yep.
or I think too, like that's not out of the question.
That's not out of the question either. Yeah.
No, especially if you get like something like my boy
We
or
gotta
some
get a
kids
big
want to
fat-
be a runner.
Yeah.
One person, because town's only 20 minutes out away.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
it's not
true.
any
Why?
farther than going to
Yeah.
Aberdeen
Yeah.
from
I mean,
here.
you're not going to
Yeah.
get that level of campground and that close to town.
No, some guys are
Like
going
big
to
money.
I mean, dude, come on.
Some guys are
All
going
right.
to demand
Anyway.
showers and shit though. So it's like
Anyway,
yeah.
well,
But they can go stay in a hotel and then drive. Yeah, if they
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to. Yeah, because it's only 20
for
minutes
that too.
Right. Yeah.
and
There
there's
are rental
there's
units.
solutions for that
Yeah.
as well.
But yeah,
They're called,
it's kind of
solar
it's something I've
showers.
wanted to do for a while, and I think it'd be super fun. In fact, that's what we were gonna do at the end of, right before, because we were
They actually have rental units. You can rent a shower.
Fuck it, we can build them too.
Like a
when
porta potty.
when we were the only people that could do tournaments during COVID, and everybody had all the free time in the world because they couldn't go to work.
Yeah.
But we could do tournaments. We were going to do that. We were just on the cusp. Me and Kebby were figuring it all out and getting everything in line, and then everything
Okay, well,
opened back up.
We got to make this happen then.
Yeah. Yep. But it'd be a fun time, I think. As long as all the right people were there that understood what it is. You know, you get some hardcore assholes there that are all go no quit, and they're not going to have a clue.
Well, they wouldn't if it's an invitation only
Right.
style event. Then they're
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're actually inviting people based on social requirement as opposed to player skill.
Correct. Right. I mean, we still want the best players we can get there, but
Well,
there's
yeah.
another added level of.
But man, what a fun too, like even if you were newer to the game or whatever.
Oh,
you,
yeah.
and you were into it for all the right reasons, and you could tell, whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
tell that, like, if somebody reached out to you and was like, "Yeah, I want to do this," like,
Oh yeah.
because by the end of that
Well,
weekend,
after you've done it
you'd be
once-
like,
After you've done it
you would have
once.
learned so much about your army and learned so
Oh,
much
yeah.
about especially if you're like not a top player.
Well, and you're gonna
because
be
you're going to be playing constantly.
and you're gonna be
basically,
bullshitting
yeah.
with these guys.
And
Uh-huh.
I mean,
bullshit-
if you're not
yeah.
very good, quite honestly, with the guys that'll probably be there, you're gonna lose 3 games and you're out. So
Yeah.
the way it works is it's three
Oh, I
ga-
see.
It's
You're out,
double elimination, 3
Oh,
game guarantee.
double elimination.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean,
still-
once you've done it once, though, couldn't you just think once you've done it once? Let's say you got a hold of guys. Hey, GS games they played. They understand this division too. You're like, here's 5 tickets.
Yeah, right.
Find me 5 cool guys.
Right.
They
Yeah,
might
oh,
not
yeah.
have to be good, but people who would love the experience.
Oh yeah.
know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that could be cool.
Yep. And then it's more of a, and grill the whole time. Like it's more of a,
You'd have to do breakfast too and all that.
oh yeah, yeah. It's more of a, hey, for the guys in the Northwest that are like the pillars of everything, hey, come on down. This is a free fun weekend to just come down and,
Would this be free?
oh yeah, yeah,
Because it'd be invite.
yeah. Yeah.
So we'd have to, but we would have to do. Yeah. To figure out a breakfast thing and. all
Oh
that
yeah,
kinda
we just
stuff.
we do a big like breakfast thing like did before the
We
one.
want to plan it out a little.
Oh yeah, we
more.
plan it out really good.
And for the amount of people and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Oh yeah. And then and I mean it'd be cool because we'd be able to stream the whole fucking thing. Like they would literally be a streamed table for like 20 hours in a row. Well, like probably 12
Take
hours a
breaks,
day.
though.
12 hours a day for
You have
3
to take
days.
breaks, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, are you guys? Hang on a second. Are you guys wrapping up?
I think we're wrapping up.
Right.
You got
Yeah, I
anything?
gotta stand up and move for a second.
Yeah, you got anything to add,
Why don't
Josh?
you just lean in and?
No, I really like the idea of that tournament idea.
Yeah.
That sounds great. I mean, 40K I think is in actually a fairly decent place. There's some indexes that are messed up, but the base game's pretty cool. And I'm getting more and more on the fence of liking tactical missions. It just
Oh.
increases the enjoyment of the game.
I
I like
am-
the idea of getting,
I
the
am
bracketing, I know
loving
some
cap.
guys think that would be all messed up, and then, oh, what are my chances of winning a tournament, whatever. But I think that getting people quicker to their equivalent level of players will just better tournaments for people.
Yep.
They'll enjoy the experience more. These are all really good things that really did, people should think about and talk about. And,
Yeah.
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 It's a greater.
That's good to
community, but you
start.
gotta make
The
it happen.
conversation has to get started
It
about
is.
it in earnest. So if that's happening, then that's good.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, guess
All
you
right.
guys are out.
Yeah, we are out. We will see you guys Warhammer Wednesday tomorrow. I am going to try
Death Guard
pretty much
versus Blood
entire Death Guard
Angels.
list. Morty's going to be in it. Plague Tanks are going to be in it.
Morty.
I'm going to try to play Wes's Blood Angels with it. I have the feeling I
Into
might
Blood
get.
Angels.
I have the feeling Wes might be able to just kick the shit out of me in front of everybody
We'll
tomorrow,
see.
but we'll see. And then
But it's worth
Thursday will
tuning
be
in.
me and
It's
Terry
around
on
4:00 for that.
Yep, and then me and Terry and Lee on the show. It's raining pretty good outside, so we'll see all you guys later.
I have to clean up.